We are students of School Center Postojna. The aim of our experiments was to synthesize hydrocarbons and compare their characteristics. Ethane synthesis. The equipment we used for our first experiment was a ring stand, a lighter, a double-end utility clamp, a cork, a spatula, a test tube and a burner. The only reagent we used was sodium acetate. Firstly, we put the full spatula of sodium acetate in a test tube, put the cork on and aligned it in the clamp. Then we lit the burner and carefully started to heat the test tube where the substance was. In less than a minute, the methane was synthesized and released from the end of the cork, where we could burn it and absorb the flame. Ethane synthesis. For our second experiment, we used reagents such as ethanol, water solution of bromine, potassium permanganate and aluminium oxide that works as a catalyst. Firstly, we put a small piece of cotton patch into a test tube and poured a few drops of ethanol over it. We took a full spatula of aluminium oxide and added it to the middle of the test tube. We filled the other two tubes, one with water solution of bromine and the other with potassium permanganate, and connected them. Then we started heating the cotton soaked in ethanol, and with help of aluminium oxide, ethane began to form. It traveled along the connected tubes and reacted with water solution of bromine to create 2-bromoethanol. The reaction is seen as the discoloration of the reactant. Ethane also reacts with potassium permanganate to create ethane 1,2-diol. This reactant got discolored as well. We lit up the end of the tube and a flame appeared. Ethane synthesis. The key reactants for our last experiment were calcium carbide and distilled water. We also used a water solution of bromine and potassium permanganate for ethane to react with them, same as ethane did earlier. We put some calcium carbide in Erlenmeyer flask, added a drop of phenolphthalein and poured some distilled water over it. The ethane was synthesized immediately. The reactions between hydrocarbons and potassium permanganate or water solution of bromine are very important because they separate alkanes that don't react from alkenes and alkynes that do react with these substances. All three hydrocarbons are inflammable. Methane is burning with the brightest and the clearest flame, as the flame of ethane is the weakest and the most ashy due to the proportion of the carbon in the molecules.